Sigma Male Diaries Podcast. Let's get on with it, y'all.
Let's go.
We can relax, have fun, get a good laugh, get information, and enjoy the show. I need to do what it do, baby.
Hey everybody, you already know who it is. This is your host, Nigel McKnight of Sigma Male Diaries. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for the love, thanks for the support. However, tonight is going to be a very special topic, and it's going to be men's night. It depends on how many callers I get. Ladies, I may give you a chance to chime in. But the topic is submission. Why are modern women threatened by it? Is it because of fear, scarcity, or lack of trust? Or is it something that they were taught in the household by their single mothers, right? But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself more so. I am a published author and a writer of an urban novel titled Repercussions. What Happens in the Dark Will Come to Light. I also own my own clothing company by the name of Repercussions Apparel, and my brand name is Rockaware. I also have a cannabis company by the name of Naya Boy Cushling Cannabis. Niyaboi Cushling Cannabis. I'm also a podcaster and YouTuber. Yeah, I'll just stop right there. Before I go into this topic though, I do have a little story I would like to tell so you ladies and gentlemen can get a brief idea on where I'm coming from in regards to submission or modern women having issues with the word submit, right? Now, it's this guy by the name of Chris. His family is from Florida and they moved to upstate New York, right? And Chris' father is in the military. His mother is a stay-at-home wife, right? Now, their community, everybody gets along. It's a diverse community. You know, Chris liked to take trips back and forth, to the city and everything like that, do his little thing, have fun, hang out, right? But Chris happens, to befriend a young lady at the time. And Chris is around, at the time, he was around 23, going on 24. They were around the same age. But Chris used to go back and forth he was in Hilton. So he used to go from Hilton, come to Rochester, sometimes Buffalo, Williamson and stuff like that, right? Hang out with family, friends and stuff like that. He wasn't pretty much, into the streets and stuff like that. He was a good guy going to school for, I think marketing or something like that. However, he ended up meeting this girl though. And she at the time, she didn't have any kids and everything like that. And, they ended up hooking up, but she wasn't really feeling him. But she did like his vibe. He had good energy and everything like that. However, she was in the street dudes. He was a good guy. He was going to school and everything. And he had like a little side gig and stuff like that. He tried to dibble and dabble a little bit in the streets and stuff, to try to get her attention. But that was something that he wasn't into. You know what I mean? He had a better future. And he knew this, right? To make a long story short, one of his neighbors is a Spanish guy, and his name was Pedro. Pedro and Chris' father name is Antoine, right? Like I said, Antoine is a military guy. Pedro was a military guy. But Pedro, he started his own construction company and stuff like that. Pedro's wife was also a stay-at-home wife, but he had her taking care of his marketing stuff, right? So they had the good thing going on with the husband and wife working together and doing their own thing. But Pedro took a liking to Chris. He seen that Chris was going to be more than just, this successful guy. He seen something greater in Chris. Pedro had 2 daughters and 2 sons. And he had a daughter around Chris's age. And, he always talked to his daughter about, her and Chris possibly, get together sometime in the future, whatever, because Chris is a good guy. And his father, Pedro has also, been putting a word in Chris's ear that, he get done with school and everything, he want to put him on in the stuff that he's doing with construction or whatever. So for the meantime, Chris and the other girl that's in Rochester, they were still seeing each other and stuff like that, but she was giving him a hard time being faithful, staying committed because she was in the street, dude. So she wasn't pretty too much into submitting to him, right? Because he wasn't giving her what she wanted. Like she wanted like fast money and stuff, right? So she ended up doing her own thing, ended up getting pregnant and stuff like that. And Chris was, obviously he was hurt by it, right? So Chris goes back and stuff like that. He visits his aunt and everything. When he seen her, he didn't hardly say anything to her. It is what it is. And she always tried to apologize, this, that, and the third, but he wasn't feeling it. So 2 or 3 years go by. Chris was done with college and everything. And Chris is now working with Pedro. And also Chris is now engaged to Pedro's daughter, right? So, now Chris, he's real good with his he was, yeah, that's what he was going for. He was going for something, yeah, marketing, right? Yeah, so he was going for marketing. So he was real good utilizing Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all the stuff that you would use for social media, for your ads. Well, one day she happened to come across his post and happened to see, and guess who it is? It's Chris, happy with his wife and everything. So now all of a sudden, she's in Chris's inbox. So Chris is telling her, listen, I'm about to get married, this, that, and the third. And she was like, listen, I'm sorry for what I've done to you. I apologize. I just, want to let you know that I'm sorry and everything like that. If I would have known that you was going to be like, this successful and stuff like that, I would have done what you have wanted me to do. So my thing is this: when it comes to this whole submission thing with modern women, right? Not wanting to give in because they feel like they're giving up their independence, their power. They have to become vulnerable, and they also have the fear of becoming hurt, right? This whole what if scenario, this whole self truth thing about like every time I open up to a guy, I end up getting my feelings hurt, or he end up cheating on me, or I helped this guy get on his feet, and all he did, was leave me. Sometimes in most situations, when you hear these stories, right, it's always coming from the victim point of view, right? Like, some women never discuss, like, fellas, like, we all been through this in some cases. Either we knew somebody that had experienced this, or maybe, we experienced it ourselves, right? To whereas if a woman was to help you get on his feet, you know how, like, you may get into little arguments, you call it a bum, or no good this and that, or if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? I could have been doing something with somebody else who already had themselves together. That man, he doesn't forget those things. And after a while, you're talking down on it because you was able to provide for him financially, in a sense. Maybe he's even living in her house. This man has to go by a whole different set of rules, and the man is put in a position to where he got to deal with a whole bunch of different levels of emotions and everything. Whether it is, she's working, or her tending to her kids, her personal dilemmas that she may have with her families, her friends, people being jealous, the drama, all the backbiting and stuff like that, man. I mean, that is not a peaceful environment for a man. So it comes to a point where selective and conditional femininity is at an all-time high. So why should a man have so many expectations put on him when, modern women these days aren't willing to invest in a man first? It's always in regards to what do you have to offer me, or you ask a man, what are you bringing to the table? And that's kind of ironic because men pursue relationships, and we choose who are our wives, right? So if a man is a provider male, he's looking to date, like he may not be aware of your financial status because he's not concerned about that. You know what I mean? What he's concerned about, if you are able to fulfill his needs and wants, I ain't saying anything about desires, as his wife. See, modern women are at the point to where they were raised to put school, as let's say education, their careers, their jobs, their businesses before men. But yet and still they would still have children out of wedlock, right? Whatever the case may be. It happens. But you want the next man to come in with all these standards, all these expectations I mentioned before, this package deal. If you accept me, you got to accept my children. It's like, wait, hold on. Who's going to be the provider, protector, and leader here? Is it me or is it you? So who's getting a who program here? What do you mean it's a package deal? See, women go after the most desirable men, especially financially, whether it's clout, whether it's fame, whether it's stature, whether it's notoriety. You know, that's what they look for. So if you're looking for that type of man, why would you in return ask a man, just in general, what are you bringing to the table? As if he's getting on your program. Like, modern women have this whole context to where I believe all men are the same because their approach is the same. You know, only way I get with a man if a man could do this with me, or if he have this or if he have that. You know what I mean? But you're not thinking about your own sexual marketplace value though, and especially as a single mom. How could you put yourself above all else when you only average at best, like Kevin Samuel said? Because this is a red pill, podcast. This is a podcast for men that advocate for men. This is full blown manosphere. I don't have any hatred towards women. I advocate for men and for men maintaining their masculinity and doing away with role reversals, doing away with catering, being, these beta males and these simps, man. I mean, yeah, you have low value men, but at the end of the day, why would you have all these expectations on a man when you aren't even suitable to even be a wife? You weren't raised to be a wife. So I'm going to ask some of the fellas on here, right? If you're listening, if you want to join, or ladies, I'm always respectful. Most people know when you join my talk. Like I said, when I'm talking, I'm talking. But I respect others, once you join my talk, it's a give and take, type of thing. So it's not like I'm going to just gun you down and talk down on you, because I don't even do that. I just speak the facts, though, from a man's perspective, from a logical perspective, a rational point of view. And this is why modern women and traditional men will never mix. Because traditional men doesn't have modern men values, lifestyles, the same attraction to women. It's a whole different ballgame. When we say tradition, we saying you are allowing that man to lead. You are resting in your femininity. And when we speak of beauty, we speaking of natural beauty, without the weave, without the eyelashes, without the fingernails, the body cosmetics, stuff like that. You know what I mean? We want to see the real you, like Kevin Samuel said, and most men will tell you how you look when you come straight out of the shower. We don't want to see you one way, then we turn around, man, like you're scaring us halfway to death, man. Like that's not cool. That's like a man walking around with a silicone bodysuit that's made in a muscular structure, and then when he get ready to lay down because he's sweating and it's hot as shit, or whatever the case is, he go to pull that motherfucker off and he looking like Bruce Lee and shit, without the muscles, without the tone. You would be mad, right? Or if you walk around with a cucumber in his pants and then y'all get ready to do y'all thing and then you realize he's not even half the size. So yeah, man, that's just what it is. Manipulation is a manipulation. But women will value themselves based on their accessories. But they look at men as accessories, financial accessories, to elevate their life. And, just for the sake of me, right? When I sit and I have these talks, I say it in the context to whereas this is something that most people need to pay attention to, though. Because if you're ever wondering why relationships and their marriages are the way they are, why they aren't lasting as long, why relationships aren't lasting past 5 years, even marriages. Sometimes you have relationships that last longer than marriages. But that's not the case anymore. Everybody's so-called bossing up now. They're doing their own thing. So when it comes to the context of submission, when a woman is raised as an individual, giving up her independence, her freedom, making the sacrifices of not doing the things that she want to do, but she has to fulfill what you need, that's going to be a problem. And that's the big issue. They're not cooperative. That's why. They're not co-independent at all. They rather have partners and being a power couple. You understand what I'm saying? Rather than be a wife. It's hard for a woman once she get used to having a certain amount of money or whatever she make a year salary, whatever the case is, to say, you know what, I'm going to give all this up. We're going to put our money in one account. She's not going to be concerned about a plan B, because when she know that she found her husband, she found her husband. Women find husbands for security. But if you want a husband, but you find a man and you say, well, I don't trust this or that, then why are you still on the dating market? Why aren't you seeking counseling? And that goes for men as well. Why do people ignore the fact that they need like mental health? They need help with that, with their mental health. Why do people still move on throughout the course of undergoing trauma, dealing with depression, toxic relationships stemming from dysfunctional households? Why do people still walk around as if they're happy and they're normal, but when they get in a relationship with somebody, they got this guard up because they've been hurt? That's why a lot of people use the terms damaged goods. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of men that are hurt as well. But what I'm saying is this. If a woman is going to submit to a man, obviously she has to trust him. She has to feel as if he's going to provide, lead her in the right direction. It's okay for a man to be there for his wife, emotionally, for emotional support. Long as it's in a healthy way, though. Because you have a lot of people that have these toxic traits and these behaviors. These shouting matches, the name calling, the disrespect. But they want to be somebody's wife or husband. A lot of men and women weren't raised, a lot of women weren't raised to be wives. It's like a lot of men weren't raised to be husbands. The fathers weren't and aren't in the household. So when you look at a community where 80% of the women are single mothers, that's basically saying that the women are basically running the community. That's what they would say, but that's not the case. 80% of these women are running these households alone. It's not the community. It's just within the community. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why now today, when a black man was to speak like I'm speaking now, a black woman be like, hold on, wait, what are you talking about? They have this whole attitude as if how they heard their mothers talk to their brothers, or even talk to them, how they heard their mothers talk to their stepfathers. Didn't even respect the man in the house. So no, you're not going to respect the man's voice, period. But guess what? You're going to respect mine. Because I'm not a sensitive guy. I don't even care about no one's validation. You know what I mean? I don't need no one's acceptance. That's why it's called Sigma Male Diaries. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a very rational person. And as a man, I know what a woman should be. Y'all came from us. Y'all are a part of us. Y'all belong to us. Our women belong to us. And that's just how it is. That's why it's so many. Because men have the options. Not to say that we should abuse it. It happens. But women are, they moving like men now. This whole equality thing of men can do it, we can do it. But our value don't drop or diminish like a woman's value will when she has a high body count opposed to a man. See, when you want to be a wife, all that shit matters. A man values a woman's womb, first and foremost. That's why most successful men prefer a childless woman. He don't want to walk around with a woman who slept with half the hood. He don't want to deal with a man, 2, 3, or 4 other men having a say in his household. A successful man is not moving into another woman's house. And he's not going to allow another man to have a say-so in his house because you're dealing with his children. You took on being a stepfather. You took on a role as a stepfather, dealing with a single mom. So you got not only 1, 2, but 3 different men that's possibly coming by if they're in a child's life. There's always one that's always acting funny, always feel you can always still get it. Like, could you understand? And a lot of people say, well, It been situations to where women had, relationships. They didn't have kids together, but the guy still act like he still belonged to her. Every time she got with somebody, he tried to run him off. Well, hey, she allowed that. What's wrong with a restraining order? What's wrong with an order of protection? Huh? She has to take accountability for that. So that's the whole thing. They lack accountability as well. You can't possibly want a husband, but then say he has to make at least what I make or more. Why does he? Why? And I know some men to say, well, it's okay for me, to try to elevate my man, to build my man up. No, you don't do that. Let that man be a man. He's comfortable. That's why a lot of men leave, because you're not allowing that man to stay at peace. Once you met that man, you accepted that man right then and there. Don't get with that man and say, hey, you know what I was thinking? That's not how you do that. If you're going to let him lead, let him lead. If you're going to lead, find a beta male. Find a simp. They'll do anything to get your attention. A beta male don't have a backbone. He don't stand for nothing. He don't have no confidence, anything. He can't even be a leader. He's used to his mom giving him rules, telling him what to do, how to live his life under her roof. Throughout the course of his life, he probably lived there till 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. He's probably in his 40s. Still taking orders from his mom because he's living with his mother. Huh? Oh, don't say this and that because I'm your mother, but still he's a man. Men go through that, huh? But nobody don't talk about that. A grown-ass man. Because he still chooses to stay with mom. He has to hear certain things they wouldn't technically have to take from his wife if he was in his own shit. It's a big difference. The women in our community feel as if they own us. Because of the situation with these men moving into these women's houses and the woman has full control whether he live or stay in that motherfucking man. And that's just out of respect. This is my podcast. You understand what I'm saying? So when I speak in terms of modern women and traditional men, these are the things that I mean. These traditional men are leaders, providers, and protectors. You're not running shit. Either you get on his program or you're going to stay to the streets. That is how it goes. And we call them leftovers. Because you're not married and you're trying to be a wife, but dudes are just passing you by. You're being left over for Pookie and Ray Ray. That's what's going to happen. Because, honestly, and I'm not being funny, as a woman gets older, we know her value decreases, as far as even in her looks. They try to keep it up with cosmetics and plastic surgery and all this other stuff, but guess what? Nature will take its course. You're not thinking about how you're going to look when you're older and you have all that stuff done to your body. We've seen it ourselves. I mean, yeah, they came out with better, stuff or whatever the case is, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's just a man's nature to want a younger woman. Like I said, a 45-year-old man, like I'm 45, I'm successful, right? I'm not dating a woman nowhere near her 40s. Luckily, she'll be at the most 30. Let's say I still want to have kids. I still have 5 years to have children with her before she hit geriatric pregnancy. She's young enough to help me with my businesses. You understand what I'm saying? She has the energy. She don't have to deal with her kids in the background or something happening, this, that going on. I prefer a woman that don't have any kids. Preferably, she don't want any. Because my children are grown, 19 and 26. I'm not starting over, so I'm not going to deprive a woman of having a family. I have a legacy. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm still not dating a woman past the age of 30 or marrying a woman past the age of 30. I'll sleep with one, but I'm not wifing her up. You understand what I'm saying? My wife gonna bury me, man. I'm not gonna be burying my wife. Huh? What about what men want, what men need? That's being submissive. Learn about what we want, what we need. Give us something first. Invest in us. Show us that, hey, these are my qualities. This is what I have to offer. You want this man to make it so that you don't have to work or you have to pay only 20% of the financial load? Huh? You making 100,000, but this man making 400,000, but you still want 50-50? You still want to go half on what he's paying? I mean, half on everything with your little $100,000 compared to what he's got. And that's your first year making 100,000. That's just before taxes. Huh? You ever thought about that? You still paying off your student loans with that? Huh? Your mortgage? Car note? Keeping up with your hair, your nails? The Jones just taking vacations? Huh? What's your net worth is? You know what it's like after that. These men bring in 3 times that amount of money in less than 6 months. So it's a big difference. Men like that have options. They're not going to deal with a woman that have selective or conditional femininity. It's just not going to happen. And when you get to that point, whereas now being other than a male provider and protector, he has to be 6 feet, he has to be 280, he has to be ripped, he has to be in good shape, he got to have X amount of dollars in his bank account, he got to have a certain type of car, he got to have a certain network of friends, people that you see him as being some type of form of royalty. Why does a man have to be more than what he is, though? Why the extra? What's extra about you as a woman? Do you have something to offer a man that you have never given another man before? Once you can say something like that, then maybe you're suitable. But how many other women are in the exact same position as you are, though? That man will always have options. Women aren't the prize. Men are. Black men are the most desired man on this planet. We know this. Even these average salary earning men that women are shooting down here in America, a woman from another country would love that man. That's how many options men have. Black men have. Only if they knew that. But see, black men are more race loyal. They would rather suffer within the carnage in their own community. They'd rather have a healthy marriage in their life. Listen, I'm not making that trade-off. I'm a leader. I'm going to lead my life. I says what type of wife I'm going to have and the type of life we're going to live. Not in a, hey, this is it. Wait, no, I'm saying we're going to be happy. Like, I'm happy. I'm not looking for my wife to make me happy because I'm self-sufficient. As long as my wife know her role, I obviously know mine. We can compromise. We come together. I mean, we can live with each other comfortably. We respect boundaries, the standards. Okay, we understand what those are. Just sit back, relax, work for me part-time, get paid, whatever the case is. We go to dinner, we go to little vacations here and there. It's not something that I do all the time for our vacations because, I got to run my shit. You know what I mean? I have a legacy, like I said, 2 kids. So it is what it is. But you have to live your life and plan it accordingly. See, men pick these women and then complain about them. Oh, she's a this and she's a that. I really did like her, whatever. I mean, but did you really sit down and talk to that woman and tell her, listen, this is what I need, this is what I want? Or did you answer her question, what do you have to bring to her table? Did you put the ball in her court, man? See, that's not how you do that. Once you do that, man, you're not no competition for that woman. She's still going to chase after the dudes that she still desire after because she haven't gotten them yet. That moment is going to be an ongoing thing. She's going to chase and chase and chase, bro. From the next one to the next one to the next one. Whenever she get one, she feel he got more money, she's going to drop that one to get that one. Then she's going to come across another one because she bumping into dudes in his network. That's what I'm saying, man. You don't cuff these 3 or 4s and put them in your personal network like that. But now she left you, now she with your dude. And some of these dudes, it's often enough to be beefing with their boys, man. They allow a woman to come in between them and their business. But because she felt as if those aren't high value men, though. Those are men who just want to sleep with you. None of the men are married. They never will. There's too many women out there that have a better history, a better background, look better, childless, all that stuff. Industry 3 or 4s, they exist. Hot girl summer, city girl summer. Yes, that's what all that means, baby. I'm going to do me. I'm going to have my fun. And then when I'm 35, 40, I'm going to settle down. No, you're not. You're just going to marry a beta male. You're going to marry somebody that's 15, 20 years younger than you. So by the time you're 40 at this point, 45 maybe, but by the time you get 60, you're not going to be as successful, you're not going to have as much energy, you're not going to look as pretty or as attractive, your body ain't going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? You figure as if, okay, I can fall back in the limelight, my man younger, he get money, I'm going to let him carry us now. And then what's going to happen? When he start making more money than you now, because he's younger, and as he get older, see, he becomes more valuable, see, and you see this. Now that's your ace in the hole. And a lot of young men don't see that. That's why a lot of these women, that's actresses, singers, musicians, comedians, all this other stuff, they marrying younger men. Because they understand my time is running out. In the next 3 to 5 years, people not going to want to see my face on TV no more. They're not going to want to hear my voice. They're going to want to listen to some 23 or 24-year-old with a better body, a prettier face, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And then she have to take her ass to sit in the cut while her man continue to do what he do now and become more successful. You understand what I'm saying, man? It's always a trick to this shit. But with men, when we become successful to the day we die. A woman can do it too based on her business. But when I'm saying these actresses though, that's what I said in the industry, the music industry, stuff like that, that's a total different story, man. You know, once your looks, depreciate, so does your value. That's just how it goes. And let them take that makeup off. Oh man. Now you understand what I'm saying? And that's why you have to think about it. Would those women submit? Those women that are successful, multimillionaires, will they submit to a man that's 15, 20 years younger than them? Will they even listen? They be, boy, sit your ass. I'm old enough to be your mom. And that's how these modern women would literally talk to you, though. And that's why I say they act like they own you. You understand what I'm saying? The whole thing is different when a man is successful. He don't boss a woman around, man. He just asks her for cooperation. Hey, listen, if I ask if you, as long as I ask you to jump off a bridge and she comply, like, okay, cool. That's why she get her purses. That's why she get her vacations. That's why she can still work part-time and still earn $60,000 a year. Huh? Work 4-6 hours a day with her husband, do the little marketing thing, post a little stuff on social media, Google ads, whatever the case is. 46 hours a day. And she gets $60K a year. Huh? She don't have to work for nobody else. That man have to worry about his wife bringing home her problems to his house from her job. Huh? That's another way he assists her in protecting her from herself. Stay at home where it's peaceful. Fuck working for somebody else. I'm your husband. I lead this. Work for me. And she submits to that. Okay, cool. Part-time, I still get paid the same amount. Okay. That's the incentive. That's cooperation. And successful men can do that. And I understand that's why most women, 90% of women want men that's earning over 6 figures. So the hell with the man that's making 80K, 90K. The hell with the man that's making 70K, 60K. Definitely hell with the man making 50K or 40K. Because do you see where I'm coming from? Women value a man based on his wallet. Look at Biggie. Look at Biggie and Faith. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not being funny. I don't know how Jay-Z looked to a lot of women, but look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. Huh? You see that? Look at Kim Kardashian and her new dude. I don't judge dudes, but I hear women talking about it. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? That whole money thing, that makes a big difference, man. It's different. So when you get to this whole submissive thing, like, only way I'd be submissive if you have this or if you do this or you do that. Because if he like this and I'm not doing that, girl. Only way I'm gonna do this if he like, that's not how you do it. A woman's nature is to be feminine. I mean, yeah, there's times where you're gonna have to defend your your house or yourself or your man, whatever the case is. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, why mimic a masculine personality as a woman? I understand women are emotional. And the same thing for these guys that get back, getting these shouting matches back and forth with their woman. Listen, if you don't sit your ass down, but in a respectful way, listen, I'm a man. Lower your voice. Don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me like that. Cool down. When we have a conversation later. End of story. If you can talk rational, then we can talk. But if not, we gonna discuss this later. And it's as simple as that, man. You end that shit. You don't gotta hear her lip, her mouth, no nothing, man. You the man. I'm not saying what she has to say isn't important, but you lead that shit, man. You take control of that whole shit. It's not about being dominating or anything. It's about a motherfucking level of respect. We're not equals, man. And I would let every woman know this. We would never, ever be equals. Not in roles, no role reversal, no beta, no simp traits, no nothing. Period. You don't get wifey, no nothing until you're a wife, man. Like, be a wife before the marriage. That's what I mean. Because when a man vets a wife, he understands that, listen, I'm going to marry her. Like, it's a sure thing. Like, they both on the same program. Yeah, he'll give her gifts. He'll buy her stuff, cars and all that, because he knows that's going to be his wife, and she knows she want to be his wife. That's a big difference. But you got these dudes sipping their way into a woman's heart. And they ghosting these dudes, man, and sleeping freely with the next guy who not even thinking about him, man. Like, this shit is crazy. And it's all about the competition. It's about the thrill. The hell with the thrill. Or I'm going to have my fun throughout my 20s and my life. Maybe when I'm in my 30s, I'll get married. No, that's not how you do that, man. We telling you, we don't want you. And they still do it anyway. Well, somebody go, no, don't be entitled. You can't have it all. That's the problem right now. You too deserving. Now, as the average woman, if you treating your men like this, your own men, you talking down on me, you don't even know, you going by what your mother said, what your aunt said, what your grandmother said if she's still 55 and stuff like that, you going by all that shit. You're not even talking to your father or the other men that they've been around that did something to you. You don't even know what's going on with that. But yet and still, you're afraid because of their experiences, though. That's why you, getting a degree? That's why you starting your own business because, you can't depend on a man? You don't trust them, man. It's cool to do that. I commend a woman. Hey, listen, equal opportunity all the way. That right there, 100%. I agree with all that. But don't say, man, F a nigga, what can a man do for me? Like, why you have an attitude? Oh, well, my mom, her boyfriend, she was a nurse. All he did was use her. Okay, so your mother chose to still be with that guy. Let your mother take accountability for that. And why did you even know about that? Keep your kids out your business. And that's another problem. These mothers that raise these sons, the man not in the house, you want to cry to your son about all your problems. And this is how the beta male is born. This is how he's created. That's why he's in touch with his emotional side. That whole feminine shit. Is because his mother brings that out of him consistently. And that's how he is. That's why you see a dude, man, don't talk to me like that, man. Because his mother dog him out so much in the house with his sisters. Oh, boy, this and that. Seriously, man, that sisterhood shit. That shit is fierce when you got your own sisters. Which, for example, the stuff that Kevin Simmons was saying. The dudes was talking to them about why, they're not going to deal with a certain woman anymore. Well, why? What's wrong with you? Like, well, you don't like us because we black. They went like, damn. Like, you ain't going to say, yeah, you right, bro. You know what I'm saying? You my brother, man. I want you to have the best wife you could possibly have. And I understand as your sister. Yeah, man, I want no chick dogging you out. Nah, it ain't about like, ain't nothing like that. Let a man say something about not wanting a woman with kids. Why? Another man stepped in and took care of us. I got 2 kids, and my man, he here, but that's your 3rd or 4th dude, man. You got 2 kids in less than 6 months. See, like, they throw this whole guilt trip thing out here, we call it shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. Sign language. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. And a lot of men and women need to start pulling together. Communicate. Open your mouth. Stop being afraid and not saying nothing. Because your mother or somebody else went through it. Maybe if you make a different choice, you'll experience a total different thing. So why not submit to a man because he's a man? Why he has to be making so much more than you? Okay, now I understand. If you want to provide a male, that's one thing, but be suitable though. You understand? Because you make 6 figures. That doesn't make you suitable. Remember, you're getting on his program. You want what he got. He not looking to spend what you got. He got that 3 or 4 or 5, 6 times already. So your money is pointless. Your degrees is worthless unless it's something he can apply to his business. But hold on. You're not going to do that because you got your own business. Men want women that's going to put them first. Men want wives that's going to put them first. You see where I'm coming from. So for a man to be successful, no kids, want his own legacy, to deal with a single mom, it's going to be her career, her job, her business, her children, and her. Then him. Not going to happen. You hear me? That's insane. Or he get a woman that is childless, but she got dudes all in her inbox. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. They out there getting it. They going to clubs and stuff, having their little flings here and there, whatever the case is. She bossing up. She a boss babe, whatever the case is. But he can't ask her to really contribute much to his business with her time, effort, energy, attention, and or possible financial resources if he needed it, which isn't the case. But I'm just putting it out there. She's not going to be willing or capable to do that because she has this whole thing. Well, I got to keep this going for me. If something happened, then I don't want no man taking care of me. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. See, right then and there. That's the problem. And a lot of men aren't saying anything. They're just, okay, underestimating their value. Just giving in, being treated any old type of way. But yet and still, I read a man, say something to the point whereas be a woman's dream in her peace. Something to that degree. And I'm looking like, bro, are you serious? Because, like I said, women want successful men. They want high-earning men. So those men are business owners, athletes, club owners, promoters, whatever the case is, those men is putting in hours to keep whatever they got going so they can have a consistent fucking paycheck or earn a consistent amount of cash flow, right? A man is not concerned about being a woman's dream when he has options. Number one, let's just get that shit straightened out. Number two, men are in control of relationships and marriages. We choose our wives. So, like I said, either you get on our program or it's nothing at all. A real man is going to tell you that, and I'm sorry that I have to say real man, but that's what we are going to tell you. Okay. Secondly, peace. A man needs a woman to be his peace. Like I said, he's the provider male, man. Listen, he's leading this shit. He's protecting. He got to stay consistently busy to make sure that the money he's earning, he's able to provide his wife, regardless of what the fuck she got financially. That's why I say that men, successful men, like traditional successful men, do not deal with modern women. No business owner, no police officer, no lawyer, no doctor, no nurse. They don't deal with none of that shit, man. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing in the medical field at all, none whatsoever. They don't deal with beauticians, salon owners, okay? Real successful men. And these are the things that I am telling you. So just keep that in mind. Because those type of women are raised as individuals. They work long hours, they have work husbands and all this shit. Whatever the case is, it's not afraid that we have. We just know the potential that will transpire. We know and are aware of a woman's nature. It's just like a woman who may have a business dude, but she'll still sleep with a mechanic or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? This dude could be getting manicures and stay clean cut and all this other stuff, have a nice shape, whatever, but this woman still mess with the guy that comes in and fix her plumbing. This shit happens. Understand what a woman nature is, man. You'll always win. And that's why a lot of modern women don't like successful traditional men, speaking the way we speak, because it gives them a sense and knowledge of rejection. And women don't like to hear the truth first and foremost. Anyway, regardless of how much they say, oh, I want a man to be honest. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's why when you go snooping through his phone, you hope that you don't find him. But when you do, the shit hurts, right? Oh, I know it's just an intuition. Well, if it's an intuition, you know it. Why the hell you still went and looked anyway? Now look at you. You understand what I'm saying? Are you really being that man's peace, though? I'm not going to say it's the woman's fault, but think about it. This man has options, and it's up to you to keep your shit up to par, man. To stay competitive. That's what it's about. You're dealing for Pookie and Ray Ray chasing their ass around. So why not do it for a man that you want to provide and protect and do all this other shit? Huh? You could do it for your side dude. Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's how it's always going to be, because as long as a woman is not within the confines of her natural role, she's not going to have a traditional man, because all that stuff was set in place from the beginning of time. And like I said, this whole thing with this extreme feminism, these feminists, yes, I would say those things because it is what it is, and it is a reality. There's no reason or no, I won't cover it up. It's happening, and it affects people's lives, and it's just insane. Why? Men and women aren't equal. Just get it through, accept it, and it is what it is. You can't change the laws of nature. That's the problem. So irrational, insane, and delusional to the point to where you think you can change something that's actually not. It's never ever going to change. If it were, you wouldn't still be fighting it. It would have changed a long time ago. And just making it hard. Bow down. If you got a problem with men, just stay away from them. Buy a dog or a cat. It is what it is, and just don't worry about what the hell everybody else that got going on that's living in the real world. Whatever life you choose to live, you live that life. Stay the hell out of everybody else's business. You're complicating things because you're toxic and dysfunctional, and you don't want nobody else to be happy because you're dealing with your own self-truth. The objective truth is that's what really matters. Your self-truth is just something that you believe in. That's something just for you. Nobody else don't have to cater, appease, or adhere to that shit. You make a choice. You self-reflect and be self-aware who you are. Don't try to have, everybody else with the same mindset you have. Sparing this shit around because you think it's a good idea to get everybody on one accord with you because misery loves company. Huh? That's what that's about. Because you're miserable, you want to just spread the word and get all these other hurt, toxic people on your team. You got a whole bunch of delusional, toxic, insane people ripping and running around thinking, oh, this and that for men and all this equality with women. Listen, we're not the same. Let's get it through. You got equal rights. You can vote. You can get a job. You can start a business. You can have your kids. You can do whatever you want to do. That's enough. All right? We're not equal in the roles. These beta males, like I said, these simps, man, they make this shit hard because now that you run through those guys, you don't got time for them now. You want to ante up because you're getting older and your looks is diminishing and your body is falling apart. Now you want a man to save your ass, but yet you don't have the values or the qualities that that man want. Low value doesn't mix with high value. That's just what it is. And a lot of people are so delusional, they don't understand the context of what's high value and low value, what's in demand and what's not in demand. What's average at best, what is average, it's always going to be average. You're not going to get any higher than that. That's not how life works. The shit is in the pudding. You see a lot of old men right now, man, like for example, Bill Gates. That man been a billionaire for a long time, but guess what? The older that man gets, the wealthier he's going to become. And women will still flock after that guy. Black, white, Asian, because of the money. See, and pay attention. There's more women than men. So ladies, cut it out. Stop. It's over. It's done. You're just going to die alone. How many of your aunties, your grandmoms, your sisters, whatever happened, you went to their funeral and it was just them and have no husband, not even a boyfriend. It was just them. I'm not being funny. Okay? But you're asking for these things, but you're still dying alone. You're not suitable, but you're still expecting, you feel entitled because you're a woman and you know you done went to school and you got your degrees or you're on your business. You think that adds value to your life. To a man, that's already a value or high value. We're not equal. That shit don't matter. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if nobody don't want to come to the talk, I'm going to end the show. And this is your host, King Nigel of Sigma Male Diaries. Yeah, Sigma Male Diaries. Some of you might like what I say. Then again, some of you might not. But I don't give a fuck. And I really don't. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe and be blessed. But I'm out.
Purchase your tracks today.